Yo.
What up?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the Longhouse Podcast. This is episode number 24. Gang up in the building. If y'all can see, you know, it's the usual cast. It's me, BLAQQ Skeleton, and Supernova. But we got two brothers up in the house. Mr. K. Asante, what's up?
Good evening, gentlemen. How y'all doing?
We're doing good, man. We're doing real good. And then we got the one and only Doc Dark, 1985. There's levels to this.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, hey, Longhouse fam, there's levels to this. And we're gonna get into them tonight for sure. Oh yeah, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool, man. We already got the usuals up in the house, man. We got Razor Ramon, Young Driz the artist, Six Slayer, Tent Gaming, Stone Blade, the homie, Big Boy Mike.
Yo.
In the building, bros. E Ranks up in the building. Y'all showed up early, bro. Tokyo Trey. What's popping?
What up?
But we about to get in. I'm about to let y'all know what the topics are. Like I said to the guests, but in the green screen, you might want to, take one headphone off because the music be blasting. But we gonna get started. Okay. Hold on, did I start from the beginning? I'm not sure. Let me redo that.
Hit that remix, that rewind.
That's right, baby. Hey, let me turn this up in my headphones, baby. Here we go. Hey, y'all feel that? Woo! Hey, what we talking about? Hey, we got Microsoft and Intel. They breaking bad with the chips. We don't know what's for, but we gonna speculate. Woo! Hey, what else, baby? We got Nova. Nova said, hey, Sony got a little bit of that PSVR2 working behind the scenes. Might come to PC. That's cool for me. Might pick it up for some flight simulator. A little bit of that Xbox, a little bit of that PlayStation. Merge them together, have a baby. You know what I mean? Hey,
don't let him hear it.
Don't. And then Scale, he said we gotta talk about that Nintendo Direct. All them games coming out. Yeah, we do. Xbox out here pimping out the games. We gonna talk about it.
Pimping ain't easy, dog. Pimping ain't easy.
Okay, Asante, I see you. Vibing to the music, baby. Hey. Hey, all right, man. Let's get into it. Ooh. Baby.
That put me in the mood. That was fire. Yeah, that was fire. I'm ready.
Oh, boy. We getting on fire tonight, baby. So first off, man, how we do the show, we're gonna go around the room. I'm gonna start with the guest. K Asante. What you been playing, what you been watching over the last couple of days?
Oh, interesting. Okay. Funny enough, what I've been playing, 2 games. And it's very, very odd. Whenever everybody's playing something, I'll go off on my own and go do something weird. The first thing I've been playing is a game called, obviously I'm speaking to the wrong crowd here. Y'all remember Vampire Survivor, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And you guys are Xbox crowd, so you remember Geometry Wars, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
What would you say if I tell you there's a game that is Vampire Survivor, but Geometry Wars? So Geometry.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Where is it at?
It is literally like picture it in your mind. That's the game, and I'm playing it, and it is amazing. It is Geometry Wars, but Vampire Survivor. It's called Geometry Survivor, ladies and gentlemen, because they had no creativity. Yes, and it is as good as you think it is.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yes, but it works. It is the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich I've ever had. It's so good. Like, it's really, really good. You spend your time thinking, it's one of those, but it's very good. Like, the If you've ever played Geometry Wars, you know what to expect. You know, polygonal characters and all of that, right? And then they add the Vampire Survivors element. It's like a roguelike, and the more you play, the more you can add more to your weaponry, and and then the screen is just full of crazy neon effects.
Yo,
while you're getting more powerful, it's crazy. It's crazy. People gotta try
the best peanut butter and jelly. That's a bar right there, because peanut butter and jelly is so simple, right? But if you've ever had a good peanut butter and jelly
you
sandwich,
combine it, it's
jelly and the peanut butter,
masterpiece, man. Yes, it's great. It's really good. And you hear it and you go, oh well, what could it be? It's exactly what you crystallize in your mind. It's the art style of Geometry Wars, gameplay of Vampire Survivors. That's it. Perfect. People gotta try it. Really good.
That sounds sick. I'm not going. Geometry Wars. That's what I'm saying. 360 era. That was part of the era. It was just a great time in gaming, man. Yeah. Seriously, Geometry Wars was such a sneak.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. And of course, the second one, real quick. I'll let y'all go off, but the second one, which probably no one would be surprised about, Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden.
Okay. Yeah.
Amazing game.
Hearing about it.
Yeah, I've been hearing about it too. Yeah. Have you been watching anything at all?
What I have been watching. So I just finished up. What did I finish up? I just finished up the last season of Reacher.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm starting on, reluctantly, the Netflix's adaptation of Avatar. It looks like it's gonna be a trash fire, but I have to watch it. So I will watch it and then regale everyone with how much of a trash fire it was. Haven't seen it yet, but I'm suspecting it's a trash fire. And of course, I'm watching the Halo TV show.
Well, you have to, like, you're featured in it. Right?
Stop it! Don't do that! Don't do that! No, it's all right. You can let that one slide.
That's funny.
Oh man! All right, one man. All right, Doc. What about you, man?
All right. I mean, we started early, so we're gonna start messy early. I don't want nobody mad at me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
On my Xbox Series Pro, I'm playing Days Gone. Okay. On my Xbox Series Pro. Okay. That's what I named my PC. You can't get mad at me. That's what I named my PC. So on my Xbox, I am playing a Sony game. They can get mad at me all they want. Okay, it is what it is. I also played a little bit of Helldivers, but it kept crashing on me or not letting me into the server. And I'll be honest with you, the game is not good enough for me to be waiting 20 minutes to play the game. It's just not. I'm being honest with you. The game is good, but it's not at that level. The PlayStation fans have never experienced any type of multiplayer in their life, so for them, it's like amazing, right? But for me, it's a good game, but not enough for me to constantly keep waiting. So, Helldivers, I tried it, but I went back to my Halo Infinite and Apex Legends, which is usually what I play. And what am I watching? I just started watching again this show called This Is Us. I don't know if you guys ever seen it before.
Oh yeah,
it's a really good show. So we started watching that again as a family. So that's pretty cool.
Okay, cool. Nova, what about you, man?
Man, I haven't had a lot of time to really play that many video games in the last couple of days. So after I beat Suicide Squad, I took a little break. But as far as the things that I'm watching, still watching over again, Hunter x Hunter. I don't know if you guys watch anime, Asante and Doc.
Yep.
But it's just more Hunter x Hunter. And for those old school fans, the Longhouse watchers that's been around for a while, went back to some Naked and Afraid. So, love that damn show. But,
we got some questions about you. Okay.
Yeah, I love that show. But other than that, man, that's all I've been watching and playing these days.
Okay, cool. And what about you, Scale?
Oh, me playing. I've just been playing a lot of Apex. I'm still enjoying the new season. I'm still like really enjoying the new season. And Valorant. And I gotta say, man, I don't usually like publicize my streams like that. I do, but I don't. But I gotta say, on my last stream, there's a thing in Valorant called the 9-3 curse. I had 2 of them in one stream with wins. It's a real thing. It's pretty insane. And
which side were you on? Were you on the 3 side or the 9 side?
The 3 side.
Okay.
Both times looked like it was never going to come out of like on top at all. But it's interesting. So that's a good little stream to watch. I'm just saying. But other than that, It's kind of all I've been playing, but watching, I'm really just watching that slow horses, getting my Brit on, dealing with the wankers and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like, every once in a while, I like to watch a lot of UK stuff because I just got to hear some of that jargon. You know what I mean? I got to hear that. I love that stuff. Like, so
Yeah.
Slow Horses is a really good show. I'm actually enjoying it. Gary Oldman, if you're a fan of him, he's killing it like per usual. So what about you, Viking?
Playing I've been playing the new demo of Championship. If you guys don't know what Championship is, it's again like Vampire Survivors, one of those bullet heaven games. But you get to like shift into a car at the same time. It's really well done, man. And they added quite a bit to it, man, as well. With like new characters and a new like skill level, like skill tree on there.
How is
so
the tree?
It's good,
I was
man.
actually curious about that.
It's good. Yeah,
good.
It's really good.
I thought that was cool because that was not there before.
And it's massive too. Like the skill tree is massive. Yeah.
Shout out to
they're doing
SRT.
some good work, man. We actually, if y'all don't know, we did an interview with them a couple weeks back with the dev team, and yeah, man, because like I played it. I think I saw J-Rock playing it, and I played it. I was like, yo, this game is fire, bro. And like, you know, them bullet heaven games are like starting to become like real popular, like Brotato, Geometry Survivor. And this one's a real good one, man. Like, it's really good. So if y'all get a chance to check out the demo on Steam or on Xbox, do it. Somebody said champion. What it's called? Champion Shift. Like you shift your car, you know?
Yep.
But it's good, man. Watching. Ooh, I cannot wait to watch Halo tonight. I heard
Same.
episode 4 is a banger.
It's ready to heat up, boy. The last episode left off like it's time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to catch up to y'all.
Man.
And then caught up on, I think I mentioned that last time. What else have I been watching though? Man? I've been something Louder Milk with my wife, man. She watches this show called Louder Milk on Netflix, and it's pretty good. It's a cool show to watch. I just lay down while she rubs my head and watch it with her.
What?
You're not even going to explain what it is. The name.
All right. So Louder Milk is about you know, a person. The main actor is like a recovering alcoholic or whatever, and it's just a story of him recover, but he's an asshole. Like he's a jerk, but he helps people recover from whatever addiction that they're going through.
So it's a whole series. Like
like I don't watch it, right? Like my wife watches it, and I just lay down with her, like on whatever episode she's on. So there's a lot of wild shit, and it's pretty funny. Like some of the parts are funny. So yeah, but it's cool. It's all right.
Louder Milk.
Louder Milk.
Disgusting.
That's his last name.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah. It's louder Milk. Yeah. Let me get some of these super chats and then we can get into the first topic. We got our boy Adidas 20 with the 5. He said at work, catch replay tonight. Hey, however you watch us, we love it. Live or replay. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate the 5 too. And then Rocket Scientist with the Canadian 5. He says, what's up, people? Longhouse, #for the kids. K, how's a Halo TV act? I ain't saying K. Halo TV acting. Doc loved the Reforged Therapy video from the car. Hit that like button or you a pony. Oh man. Thanks for the 5, bro. Yeah, the #for the kids, for y'all don't know, like every single dollar this year is going to the Boys and Girls Club. We're gonna try to get them some Xboxes if they still exist.
Stop it! Wow. Stop it! What the hell was happening?
I'm just kidding, bro.
Supernova, take over.
And then
I can't do nothing about him.
Yeah, we're gonna get them some Xboxes and some gaming gear and stuff like that, man. So our goal is $6,000, and we are already at $772 today. So
let's go.
Yeah, so we getting there. By the end of the year, I think we might get there, man. We might get there. Snaps! Then we got Luke Vaders. gifting 5 memberships.
Let's go. Okay.
Let's go,
much,
man.
sir.
Y'all better thank Luke Vader GS. Let's go.
Appreciate
that
that,
means
Luke.
I gotta do my horn. I ain't even practice any. God
I am
damn.
not your father. Thank you very much, bro.
What is this? What is happening now? What is he doing?
If-
Oh, you got to explain the doc.
All right, yeah. So if we get anything over $20, I gotta blow into the Viking horn.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So here we go.
My bad. Hey. Skeleton, you wrong, Skeleton. You wrong for that. You didn't even notice, Skeleton. You wrong for that. You didn't hear me laughing at you. I was expecting something else, dog. He said, my bad. Skeleton, stop.
No.
He's not gonna bite me again, man.
It's all jokes. Post up couldn't stop laughing last time I did it. It's all good, man. It's all good. I'm gonna keep doing it. I don't care how bad I am with it.
I like how everybody waits in anticipation. Like
It happens every time. Every
no,
time.
but you knew what was gonna happen. So
Bro, I just swear so hard every time you about to do that. I'm not gonna lie, dude.
This motherfucking scale, he gifted another 5. Oh no, was you, Nova?
It was me, bro.
Yeah, Nova gifted another 5 just to watch me fail again.
He need to practice, Doc. He need to practice. You know what I'm saying? That's all. This reps.
Goodness.
It is reps. It is reps.
Dave Reezy said that blow was over 9,000 with the Vegeta emoji. Y'all some fools, man. Anyway, we moving on. Who got the subs? Deadly Headley, Mass A-Hole, 1977, Rushin Eppinger, Tokyo Trey, and you know I got soul.
And that is masshole.
Y'all think it's what I didn't want to say it.
It's like Massachusetts. Your
Oh,
Massachusetts.
masshole. Okay. Yeah. I got you. Yeah, man. Y'all give a round of applause to Luke Vader's, bro. Let's go. And then anybody who got it, man, throw up the set. Put gang in the chat, all that. You know how we roll.
You green
Longhouse. You green now. All right, man. So let's get into it, man. So we had some news come out yesterday. And it was kind of crazy because I invited K Asante to come on because he breaks down like hardware like nobody else I've ever seen. Right. And this news came out and I was like, perfect. I'm glad I got him, man. So he can kind of we can speculate with a subject matter expert in the house. You know what I mean? But yesterday, The Verge broke a story. Microsoft and Intel strike a custom chip deal that could be worth billions. Right. Later on, what it says that Intel will be producing custom chips designed by Microsoft for Microsoft as part of the deal that Intel says is worth more than $15 billion.
Are these chips about to be exclusives?
Well, hey, it says Microsoft for Microsoft, so we'll see. We'll see.
I think Asante picked it up. They're gonna be exclusive chips.
Well, you know, it is Microsoft, so it might be for the streets 5 minutes later. You don't know. I'm just saying.
Blow the damn horn. Blow the damn horn.
And then Intel announced a partnership during this Intel Foundry event today, although neither company specified what the chips would be used for. Bloomberg noted today that Microsoft has been planning in-house designs for both processors and AI accelerators. So, my speculation on this is that, and my hope, my optimism, is that these are chips for the next Xbox and handheld. That way you can make them super powerful, especially if AI is involved, while keeping the cost somewhat low for consumers. But I want to go to you, K Asante. When you saw this news, I mean, did your spider senses tingle a bit? You know,
No, I'm right where you are, man. And that second part is the part that excites me, the keeping costs low part.
Right.
I have been one that I've been advocating that the Nvidia get back into the game. Well, Intel rather get back into the game strong because Nvidia ran away with it for a while, and then AI basically gave them so much money they don't care anymore. AMD's doing what they're doing, but they're just winning by default because nobody's trying to do anything else in that space, right? I'm a big handheld guy. You know, I have these handhelds out there, your ROG Allies and things.
Let's go.
They're all just yes.
Me too. I'm part of the gang too. I'm part of the gang
too. You know what it is.
What y'all say? Gang, 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 gang.
That's right.
I do not gang.
So they have been winning by default, but they haven't been earning it. You know what I mean? Like the drivers aren't there. They're not doing what their part to make this ground more fertile for more innovation. So I'm and slowly, secretly, Nvidia. I keep saying Nvidia. Intel has been kind of building back up to their former greatness. You know, in upscalers being software based. Scale basically helps your game run 480p higher using software rather than the hardware that you run it with, right? And it can run ubiquitous on all hardware. So they've been showing signs of being hungry, and Nvidia is kind of like, we don't really need that anymore. We already got your 4090 money. So I've been kind of advocating that Intel get in there with one of these manufacturers because they're hungry to get into the game. You can get them at peanuts on the dollar compared to say an Nvidia or an AMD at this point. AMD is the reference design at this point, right? Microsoft uses them, Sony uses them, but Intel could show something super interesting, get in the game, and really upend everything, right? I'm hoping that that's what's happening here, that they are hungry and they have interesting technology that will break up the duopoly that we have between AMD and Intel and Nvidia. You know, so when I heard this deal and it's custom chips. We don't know if it's ARM or x86 variant. That also make a lot of determining factors. But yeah, it's super exciting that they're heading in this direction, especially because they've been rocking with AMD for so damn long. You know, it's good that they're looking elsewhere for potential innovation and whatnot. So yeah. That was my thought.
And they probably got, and then correct me if I'm wrong, they probably got a really good deal because Intel wants to get into the space, so it's lucrative for both parties.
Yes, your point on the deal. That is the part that's really interesting. Like I say, Nvidia is no longer interested in gaming. It's because they have all the deals for AI, and who's the king in AI right now? Microsoft. Microsoft has basically turned them into $1 trillion company almost with all the AI that they have been pushing, and that's their number one partner in AI, right? So it's kind of given the space for Intel to kind of muscle their way in and possibly get into gaming. I hope they do, you know.
Yep. No, for sure, man. So what are your thoughts, Doc?
I'm afraid because I don't know as much as Asante knows, so I need to see it first, right? I'm just being honest. I need to see it first. And I know that as a casual computer gamer, Nvidia is the one that holds that title as far as popularity, right? The Nvidia would be equivalent to what the PlayStation is on the console side, or what iPhone is to cell phones, which people don't know why it's better. They just say that it's better and it's just more popular for whatever reason. But I've seen many people argue that AMD is either catching up, or in some instances it's better for you to get an AMD card than it would be to get an Nvidia card, right? But when it comes to Intel, I don't hear them at all. I do know that the new handheld that's going to come out by MSI has a Intel, the claw, right? Has an Intel chip in it. And when I saw that, I'm like, I don't know. I gotta wait and see exactly what it does. And then I think about the developers that have already been used to developing on AMD hardware. How is this going to affect them if they gotta develop on Intel? I don't know. So for me, I'm scared. And I noticed that Xbox specifically, maybe not Microsoft, but Xbox has a problem of trying ideas too early. They're the right idea, but they bring them out way before we are ready to accept it, right? So you remember they got crushed with the TV. Do you know how many people I know use their consoles to watch Netflix, Hulu, all that stuff? When the Nintendo Switch came out, that was one of the criticisms that people had. It's like, well, why isn't it Hulu and Netflix on it, right? And it's like, okay, so you do want a console that does all this as well. But we crushed Xbox when they were the ones pushing it first, right? Subscription services keep getting crushed. Everybody's on a subscription right now to the point where even freaking EA Play on your computer has their own subscription service, right? Uplay has their own subscription service, but subscription services are bad. But again, ahead of the game. So that's what scares me. Sometimes I think Xbox has the vision and they execute it maybe too early before we are. So I don't know if Intel's there yet, but we'll see. I got trust in Asante though. So y'all hear it first. If it flops, it's
Asante. No, Dark. You make a good point though. But I would levy that criticism at Microsoft as a whole. Like anything they do, they tend to overshoot the ball because they see it going there. But of course, if you're there first, doesn't mean you're the most successful, right? Everything they say that would come to pass has come to pass. The Xbox One that people just kept dashing them. Look around. Everything they said would come to pass has come to pass with the DRM and all that extra, right? It all has come to pass. People keep throwing Kinect at them. But remember, Kinect, people just remember two parts of it. They don't remember both of it. They remember the visual, but you don't remember the audio. And the audio still lives to this very day. You're talking to your robot all day. Like, it exists, right? They just don't tend to package it and put it together in a way that can be marketable by them immediately. They shoot the shot, get all the arrows, and then somebody right behind them takes all the credit for making it. It happens all the time. So your point in let's wait and see is a very apt one. And I should caveat what you just said. I should caveat what I said by we should make sure that their heating solutions are back up to par. Because that's one thing that Intel has been notoriously problematic about. They overheat like constantly. So that MSI claw, I was like, yeah, that's interesting. I'll wait till the reviews. So I feel you on that. You know what I'm saying? So yes, 100%.
Yeah, for sure, man. And then so what about you, Nova? You read the article and stuff, and like we talked about it a little bit yesterday on Boom Show. What are your initial thoughts on this deal?
What kind of stood out to me was that Intel was making like custom chips for Microsoft, right? And it said in that same article that they were going to take a bite out of what TSMC, which is a huge Taiwanese semiconductor makers, excuse me, that makes in about 60% of the world's semiconductor and 90% of the world's most advanced semiconductors that come out, right? Yeah. So now it's huge that Intel is starting to do things like that, because that may mean that a lot of the semiconductor production may come back stateside, Okay. Because TSMC actually is like 15% of the GDP for Taiwan, which is huge. But besides that, though, some of the small things that I did notice in that article, it said that this will shift the platform, will fundamentally transform productivity for every individual organization, right? Yeah. So for me, that didn't necessarily speak to coming to consoles. Every time I see productivity spoken about in this specific space, they're talking about headsets, let's put on a headset and let's all increase productivity for having digital spaces so we can work in. So it could be something that's going towards their AI space as well, or something that, for their web services.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't know.
And it could be because it's a large deal. I'm almost positive they didn't spend $15 billion for it just to be handheld and
I think it's 15 billion over the relationship, right?
Over the relationship, right? But it also could be Surface tablets as well, or Surface. So it could all probably sync together. But we don't know. We're speculating, you know what I mean? So we could see, yeah. But it was an interesting point that they brought up productivity. So adding that into it, I suspect the Surface team will get a hold of these chips as well. What say you?
I'm waiting to see if it's ARM. No. Talk.
ARM.
That's the part that part that's very important to me. If it's ARM, then you know what they're doing. Then they're going full bore in that direction, probably operating systems and the whole thing. I just want to know what version that they're looking at.
Okay.
Please tell us.
Scale, man, what are your thoughts on the article
on the news yesterday?
My thoughts are, and we took this from Nova. We were talking yesterday, and just about how the custom for a custom chassis type thing is going on. So I feel like with that, and this is Nova saying, I credit to him because he's speaking facts. It's like if they're doing the custom chassis for the custom chip, then that can possibly mean handheld. You know what I mean? Like just to get the everything together. I from my perspective, personally, I want the handheld. I like this. I want this. I like it. They getting into the handheld market, and that's like the handheld market is doing so well, and they're so powerful. I think they have gotten their blueprint, so now they can just give it their own push. And given that thing with a nice user interface, it's sounding like it's about to be a good time. Like I think it's it's getting to that 360 feel of having a nice peripheral, you know what I mean, or not something different to go along with the gaming. So I'm excited for this personally. I'm very excited about it, to be real. Because not only me, I personally don't even have, and I know it sounds crazy, I don't even have an Xbox console. I just have a PC.
That is an Xbox. That's an Xbox. That's an Xbox. Every screen, every single one. All right. Well, Phil said it.
Yeah. So I just have that, and I have a PS5 and a Switch. So that could put me in the market for getting them back into the ecosystem. You know what I mean? It's like, sure, I'll take that, and I can travel with that, and it's more powerful than the Switch. I'm sure. Tired of them 30 frames on Switch. I would like to play something nice. Be cool to play indie. Be cool to play Game Pass games. Be cool to play Call of Duty on my handheld. Just that simple from the Game Pass. All just you boot it up, boom, and then I got too much. It's just I like this. I like this. I'm gonna just say that.
It already exists.
Well,
yeah, but the battery life is trash on that thing. I'm sorry.
Mute him. Somebody mute him.
Yeah,
it's true though. I own one myself. The battery life is trash. It's
You're
trash.
right,
Come on, need better battery life on this.
Yeah,
thing.
you know what's funny, Asante, is I've never used the ROG Ally without having it plugged up.
Unplugged, yeah. Me very rarely too. Very rarely.
Because I want the full power that it provides. Because if you do a full power unplugged, you getting 45 minutes, something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's still pretty amazing though if we keep it all in perspective. Like that's pretty. Think about a handheld back in the day that big was a game gear.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Look where we're at.
And it had like 12 batteries in it, and it lasted 20 minutes. Yes, I remember.
Yeah,
I remember. Yes.
The thermals too are impressive to me because like this thing blows out hot air out of here, but when you're holding it, your hands are not getting hot. But
you're not.
God forbid you accidentally go up there, barbecue your finger. But it's
so about the keeping it in the perspective thing. I will say, and people in the chat who know will quickly accuse me of spending Gabe bucks now. This is why Steam Deck's Gabe bucks.
Oh,
okay.
I
thought you said rainbow bucks for a second.
No. I said, what's that? Bucks, man. Calm down. Yes.
I said louder milk. What are we doing?
No, not that far. No. So needless to say, usually people think of it like a step ladder. You get more power, and then the battery doesn't last long. They are able to provide instruction sets that let it do more with less. So like at lower TDP, under 10. Like you can't even get this thing to run well under 10. You can get to about 6 TDP, 7, and then you hear the audio crackling or whatever. But the lower it is, the longer the battery lasts. Yeah. And you have to use this, hit it to higher TDP, for example, like Starfield or whatever. You're at 25 TDP to get anything to perform, whereas the Steam Deck can do the same thing with 15 or less.
How do they do that?
It's the instructions they provide it.
Oh, okay.
It's the instruction sets that they provide to their APU. That's why, bring it back to this Microsoft story. That's why when they say we're doing something custom, that's what's interesting, right? They use the same AMD thing that everybody else uses, but they provided different instructions to that AMD APU, and theirs can do a lot more. So if you can get good instruction sets into your APU, you have 30 TDP, but you're good at 15, and you're lasting battery for a long time. So that's where it plays, and hopefully, these are the things that are necessary while the battery technology hasn't grown, because it's been the same thing for like about 100 years.
Yeah.
But provided that you can do more with less, then that same battery lasts you 4 hours instead of 2.5. that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Okay.
That's
I
dope.
did get Starfield running at full TDP. By the way, as if I put my resolution to 900 and upscaled,
Yeah.
it ran like
Yeah.
a dream. But of course,
Absolutely, yeah.
I had to have it plugged in. Like it,
Right.
there was no unplugging.
No
that.
way.
That upscaling technology, that FSR or whatever it's
Yeah.
called on that size screen. Oh
It's
my
great.
god, it's
Yeah,
perfect.
it's
perfect.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
Yep.
super good. We have a question in the chat with the $5 super chat from Russian Eppinger. He says, do you think they can combine ARM and Intel custom chip deals, or are they for separate deals? I guess, I mean, they didn't say anything, but it said for unknown reasons. So I'm sure they could combine the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I believe that the deal you see here is the cautionary tale from the time during that COVID period where you had a bunch of what do you call them? Stock supply shortages, right? They couldn't get enough chips out.
Yeah.
And obviously, as Nova was talking about, TSMC basically controls the entire chip creation population, the flow. So if they're slow, everyone else is slow. That put the idea into Intel's brain to create their own manufacturing line, bring it back, in the hopes that then, in case TSMC ever has that problem again, they now have business, right?
They don't
And
have to rely on it. Damn, that's
ARM
crazy.
is huge right now, right? They've been working on it in the background for Windows for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if this Intel deal ends up being, oh, by the way, this is Intel's deal into Windows 12, we'll say, and it's all running on ARM. You know,
What
I
the hell
wouldn't be
is
surprised.
ARM? Can you guys explain what ARM is?
A different, more optimized way of providing instructions to chips. So basically, it's still in the idea of do more with less. Whereas Intel x86 based chips that everybody knows in their PCs and whatnot, you see the crazy cooling fans, the monster heat sinks because it runs hot. ARM is able to do a lot of the same workloads without even actively cooling it. You can keep it passive. They're in phones. Right? Think about it. You know, you see Resident Evil running on an iPhone, but it's not actively cooled. Right? It's running on a Galaxy S24. It's not actively cooled. Whereas the alternative is a console which has a big fan running on it. ARM versus x86.
So could Russian Eppinger, thanks for the 5, man. We really appreciate that. Do you guys think that can consoles run on ARM?
I mean, like, it's not that we want them to consoles run on ARM. Yeah, like they can. Yeah. The underlying hardware is the underlying hardware. Today's world, a console is anything you want it to be, as long as you're able to make it, because it's what people think it is. It's not what it actually is. Consoles back in the day were these bespoke boxes, single-use things. You hit the button, you're playing your game. Right. Now, under the covers, they're all Windows PCs. Every single one of them. Your PlayStation 5 is a PC.
That's facts.
It's true.
Phil said it. Phil said it. Phil and now Asante said it.
So Dark, to add more to your point about it being an Xbox, you can talk to your friends on it. You can do everything you could do as if you're on the console, but you're on a computer. That's why they can call it part of their ecosystem, because everything you can do on the console, you can do on the PC.
Asante, I'm gonna tell you a secret. Do you know what I named this?
What,
like the actual name? You know,
little
how you can
Xbox.
Name it? No. Xbox Series Go.
Oh, there you go.
Series
there
Go.
You go. Yeah,
Phil, I want my royalties, Phil.
That's right.
Yeah. And people get mad at me because I call it. It's not an Xbox. It doesn't. It's a Rock Ally.
It basically is. I mean, you put in a Bluetooth headphones and you're talking to people on a party chat while they're on the console.
And guess what controller I'm using?
Yep,
exactly.
The one with pants.
That Joe controller got pants,
which is true. It's true. Look like
I could call them leggings, whatever you prefer. Bro.
Oh, bro, that's even worse.
Don't worry, I got one too. Mine's got pants.
I'm gonna switch back.
All right, there we go.
There you go. Much better.
Before I move on, because I got some more questions about this deal and the technology behind, like what's behind the consoles. I'm gonna get to some of these super chats really quick. We got J Mac with the 5.
What up?
You ain't doing shit. I love you, bro. These are the world's in a great place, apparently, because the Avengers are all in one place at one time. Salute, gentlemen. He just called us the Avengers. That's what I'm talking about, J Mac.
Yes,
Thanks for the 5, bro. 100%. MJ Dark got a little slander here. He says K Asante is paid for by Gabe Newell. Gabe Bucks.
Says the handheld master himself. This guy has every handheld known to man. I'm just saying.
Does he?
I go to him for advice. Absolutely. He has every handheld known to man, like all of them.
Damn, that's crazy. Like the AO Neos and everything?
Everything, bro. He's got it all. He's testing them one after another. He's got it all. You know,
That's
people
crazy.
see me with multiple handhelds. I got nothing. He's got it all. It's crazy. So yes,
Those
he
are
knows what
amazing.
Gabe Bucks look like.
Those are some amazing bathroom breaks. I bet he had.
You know, that's right. Excuse me, I'll be back in.
Selection.
Legs on numb. Legs on
I'll be
numb.
back in 20 minutes. Like, what are they?
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Oh my God.
That's
bro.
funny.
So you get KU was bringing up x86 and
Mhm.
ARM. And I remember watching a show that she was on talking about, you know, we could treat the current hardware that has, because it's all x86, kind of like how we treat our GPUs nowadays,
Yeah.
because there's no past gen GPU to where like it can't run the latest. It might run crappy,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah, generations ended the minute they went to x86.
right.
Now
So-
generations are a marketing term, not an actual technological leap.
Yeah, so explain that a little bit in terms of today's console space.
Sure, sure.
Like where whenever they start coming out with new hardware, because they started x86 when?
So x86 has been the architecture that Windows has run since the 70s, like
Okay.
70 something. You know, your first PC, your old dusty Windows PC was running on x86 architecture.
Right.
It's been a parallel architecture that's been running ever since the days of yore, if you will, with the keyboard and the mouse, right?
Right.
What happened, obviously, you don't want that stuff in your living room, right? They want things that are dumb boxes, basically. VCRs, you plug it in, you hit play, it just works. And that architecture, that operating system that ran it, requires you doing a lot that console players don't want. They want a single use, you know, seemingly it just works device.
Right.
So they were building bespoke custom chip devices that were doing that. So not only would you build the custom architecture, which you would never use for anything else but this game, you would then also build instructions on how to develop for it. You would then build an environment where then developers could then build, like, it was a whole thing every time there's a generation, right?
Right.
Nintendo been doing that forever, right? They build their generations and they have instruction manuals they build for developers. No one gets to see this except for you, who are the professional developer who are developing for this hardware, right? And then somewhere down the line, they went, you know what? Let's bring it to x86, which is the thing that PCs are running, right? So the PS3 screwed up with the cell processor, which it was a great processor, but it was far too complicated to work for, right? At the time, Xbox was doing Power PC, which is Apple's variant on an instruction set. It wasn't the main line, but each of them was also bespoke. They lock it down, right? Because that's the console platform. Lock it down. Anytime you want to build anything, you have to go through a lot of hoops just to get everything exactly the way the console maker wants it, because that's the console environment, right? Then they decided, you know what? Let's make things easier for ourselves, and they go to x86. Now it's literally a PC. Like literally, that is a PC. The architecture, everything is a PC, which means what they're doing there now is artificially calling it a console.
Yes,
because it's not really a console, right? It's not a bespoke device built for the purpose. No, they're putting a custom operating system on it and fooling you, just like physical media.
So we can play Ratchet and Clank on the Series X. Ratchet and Clank would run well.
Technically, you could, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, to this very day, right now, right now, you can go into a development environment on my Series S, which is right there. You can go on the development environment, and in that development environment, you can emulate all old school. I could play God of War on that thing in the development environment.
Oh my God, Asante, you just explained the thing that I've been trying to explain to ponies in such a smart way. I've been trying to tell them. I've been trying to tell them that exclusives mattered when we had things like the Nintendo 64 and the PlayStation, right? Where there was a cartridge and right, But nowadays, exclusives only benefit the console maker.
See,
why do we have to
the way I describe it? The way I describe it is back in the day when you had single-use devices, all they were there for is for the purposes of whatever game was there, right? So they needed the exclusive to draw you to them, right? But now every device can do exactly the same thing. When you buy a new TV, do you need the exclusive movie that can't be seen anywhere else? No. You bought the old TV was crap. The new TV is better. It watches the same damn thing, but it's better. So you buy that, right? That's why I don't necessarily like how Xbox did this with the Xbox One to the Series console. I don't like that they did it. But the reason why I'm okay with it is because they were basically trying to tell you this Xbox works. It does the thing. If you want the newer one, you get the higher grade one. It still looks exactly like the old one, but it does the thing better.
What I say, Asante, ahead of their time. Ahead of their time. They did it when people weren't ready for it.
They're trying to train people to think, to decouple the idea of generations and all this from the hardware. Because at the end of the day, the hardware can be cyclical. It can be replaced anytime you want.
It only works as it all stays there. Like we wouldn't be arguing here with TVs. Like I got a TLC TV, you may have a Samsung TV. We're not like my TV is better because I can watch Netflix and you can't.
Yeah.
Exactly. So how did they get us to believe this with these consoles? How did they get that?
They got that because when you were kids, they would basically indoctrinate you. Ours is better than theirs.
Yeah.
And that's where they are. And now seemingly they're ready to move on. And all y'all are like, no, but you said ours was better than theirs. Yeah, that was yesterday's news. Now it's money. Peace. Get out of here.
I have a theory as to why the PlayStation fans don't want to let it go. I think when they introduced that blowing feature into the controller, they were sold. I gotta get it. I gotta get it.
So what you guys are saying is that the future is going to be, it's not going to be just like whenever people are shopping for GPUs. Which GPU do I get? Like, because it's going to all run the same games. Just depends on the performance of those games.
Right now, y'all can go and watch The Matrix on Netflix. I insist on using my Blu-ray every time. But if you want to be a troglodyte and watch it on the compression 4K, that's your choice. Right. That's the world we live in, and they want to do that with consoles.
I'll make it real simple. Right now, all of us had headphones on. I have an Audio Technica. You got an Apple, right? Someone got a Razer, right? But we're all listening to the same thing, thing.
Yep.
It's all about the comfort level, which one you just happen to like better, which one was on sale, all that stuff. That's how we're going to start picking hardware in the future.
Yeah, and services. And Microsoft is well ahead when it comes to services right now, because when I boot up my console and I'm playing Halo campaign, I can drop it. Right, it has the quick resume feature. I can drop it. I can go to my ROG Ally, pick up where I left off. I can drop it, go to my PC, and pick up where I left off. Like so, whenever this whole exclusivity kind of drops off the face of the earth, when it comes, like people are going to try to look for what's the best hardware that I can buy to run these games, and which one has the best services.
Yes.
So that's
best ecosystem.
Like, best ecosystem. And speaking of ecosystem, I wanted to ask you guys, I know it's licensing issues, and I know that they're saying that third parties, like Phil just said a couple days ago, that they're working on xCloud running your third party games that you buy, because not everything that you buy on Xbox is Play Anywhere. I don't understand why there can't be an Xbox OS per se, to where I can run on my PC and have my third-party games, or my ROG Ally for my third-party games. I don't understand how that, because you have and of course it's the same thing. Like on PC you have Steam, then you have the Steam Deck, to where you can run pretty much all your games on the Steam Deck. But why can't Microsoft do the same thing?
I got something for you, Black Viking. So when Skilling was talking right about the Xbox handheld, that's the one thing that I would do to replace this was if they made an Xbox handheld that actually mirrored my Xbox,
Right.
not like the PS Portal where you're streaming it, like it literally mirrored it. So it's be like right now I have an Xbox Series X, and in my kids' room I have an Xbox Series S, but my both of my profiles are on and their profiles are on it, and I can play whatever I want to seamlessly, and it's the exact same thing. If they could do that with a handheld, oh, we got something. Yeah. We got something. So yes, because right now you're absolutely right. For the first one that I had to learn that didn't work that way was Dishonored. If you play Dishonored on Game Pass PC and Dishonored on Game Pass console, it doesn't play anywhere. So you would start with a different save. And when I found that out, I was like, oh, okay. So there's only specific titles. Granted, there's a lot, but it's still like, okay, it's only specific titles. But yeah, if they do that, Asante, can they do that? Can they do that?
Technically, they can, 100%. I've already talked about that. They technically can do that. Now, as Viking was talking about, licensing will be a big concern, right? Because and I mean, it's a big concern every generation, right? That's why some games get stuck in the last gen and they don't join back compat, because we agreed for it to only be playable in this fashion, in this form, in this generation, and now that generation's over, you have to renegotiate to get them back on. So, like, not to say that it's not possible. You may lose some in your library with that transition, but it's definitely possible. So
how do licensing deals work out for Steam? Because like it's just ever evolving, right? Like, and can't Microsoft?
These are the questions, aren't they? Yes, these are the questions. Yes.
No, we're asking you. We're asking you.
Well, so it's about the license, right? It's about the type of license they got, right? So with Steam, it's not a thing of, oh, well, they're agreeing to present the game. That's a storefront. Put it wherever you want. That's all it is. A storefront, right? The idea with consoles is they agree to, they like, because consoles are such a tight, contained, walled garden, they have to make sure that everything is repeatable over and over and over and over and over again, right? And if anything is wrong, even by a little bit, there's penalties to be paid. And because of that, they have license agreements that basically lock everything down. That's the reason why things like FPS boost and all that was so monumental, because they're able to make changes to a game's code without touching the code. The minute you touch it, you got to pay for it. You got to go through certification all over again, all this stuff. That's the difference between console and PC. How they solve that is, and those who are console mains, please clutch your pearls a little bit. This is going to hurt you. They should, I'm not saying they're going to, they should do away with the Xbox development pipeline altogether. Because at the end of the day, they no longer need it. It is no longer necessary to build a bespoke console, this and that. You already build one when you build a PC game, right? What do you call it? GeForce Now right now. If you go to GeForce Now, the online thing, you can choose to whether it allows you to edit the background or not. If you choose not to allow it, there is no settings. It's one profile, you play, just like a console. If you want to edit it, you hit the background and now you're editing stuff. They can do that with PC games. And then the console people can still just have that veneer of you hit play and you're playing, and the people who want to modify can go in the background and modify. One single place for all of your games. When that happens, guess what? What did Mr. Totoki-san say? They're going to PC. What's on Xbox? PC. Everything lines up to
right. Every screen is PC. Xbox. We go back to it.
That's the deal. That's the deal, right?
Phil said it.
Well, how will they get us there is the question. Right? It'll take some doing to get us. But technically, from a technical perspective, they can absolutely do it.
Let me say something though. So now, like I recently bought a gaming laptop, right? And it's got a 4070 in it, but it's a mobile 4070. So I think it's like equivalent to like a 3070, right? But it still runs games very well, right?
Gets it done. Yes, absolutely.
It's got an i9 and everything. Now this is what I noticed, right? My Xbox though, that ease of use is phenomenal. Being able to just turn on my Xbox like that, and when I play a game, this is the thing, right? When I play a game, I know it's gonna run. There's been times when I played a game on PC that was running perfectly fine for the last week, that for whatever reason today the resolution has changed on it, and I haven't done anything to it. I didn't do nothing to it, And I'm like, wait a minute, like what's going on? Or the audio is off, or something is off. I was playing Apex Legends and my mic stopped working. Like, why? What's going on? Right? All these little things that can happen on PC that it's just like, okay, yes, when I'm in the game, it's infinitely better, right? But to get to the game, that
but getting it
too.
there could be problematic. No, I understand that. I hear you on that. Now, that problem is because PC is an open platform. You bring to it whatever you want, right? And that's what consoles fixed. In order to bridge that gap, they would have to have like, if you've used the Steam Deck, you know it exists. They use Linux as their backend, and because they use Linux as their backend, it does not load the full operating system from jump. It only loads exactly what you need it to. So imagine a world where you boot up your ROG Ally and it looks like an Xbox fully because the Xbox UI is on there. And if you want to get to the desktop part and install Steam or install Epic or something, then you hit start, you go to power, and then load desktop, and then you get to the desktop. That's what Steam does today.
Viking?
I agreed with you Supernova
hasn't said anything. So you hear that? Yeah, go ahead.
I agreed with you as long as it's optional.
Yes. Yeah. It has to be because the problem with Windows right now is it's fat. It's got tech debt. Yeah. It's got you. Right now, your ROG Ally is running print spool drivers. Your ROG Ally will never need to print anything ever, but it's got print spool drivers that are running in the background right now, right? The first thing I did is spend like a weekend turning off all the stuff that is never going to be necessary on that thing.
Right.
That's my big help. I've been thinking about it. That's my bit of smoke right there with Microsoft, right? They just threw it on there and said, have fun. So it's zapping like 40% of your potential strength because it's got all the Windows cruft running in the background. Even Phil Spencer has said that the worst part of using this thing is Windows, right? But they're trying to fix that. So I foresee in short order, you'll see possibly in the next version of Windows, it'll be modular. So not everything loads from jump, only the parts that you need. So if it's a handheld, maybe the UI for the Xbox loads first, right? And if it's a desktop, then the other UI loads first, that kind of thing.
And they're subsidizing all this technology by giving the ponies our games, right? That's the reason.
Saying.
Yeah. Before I hop into some of these super chats really quick, Nova and Skeleton, did y'all have like any questions regarding or any statements regarding this whole x86 and all that at all?
Nah, man. For me personally, I feel like they covered everything, man. Okay,
Asante, everything. I am well educated today.
I may have to ask you about x84 in the green room later, but yeah, man.
All right, cool, man. Let me get to some. I'm sorry that these super chats cover your face, okay, Asante, but
oh no, please.
Man.
Do you think?
Rocket Scientist with another Canadian too, says K Asante, just future proofing. Soldier Boy handheld.
Don't knock a man's hustle. Let him try.
I think this question is probably for all of us. I think we all can go around the room and see, but what PlayStation games do you see coming to Xbox? I can with Returnal coming. I think that could sell on Xbox. I'll kind of go first, man. I think and we'll get to the PSVR topic as well. But I think that, the COO pretty much, Totoki, is looking at everything from a business standpoint of why are we letting games sit on the shelves that we can make money off of and put on other platforms. They could do that with a ton of PS3, PS2, PS4 era game, not your staples, right? Like, I'm sure there'll be a lot of kickback and understanding, Uncharted not coming, God of War, Spider-Man, all that, unless there's issues with the royalties and Disney might be like, hey, you need to start putting this other places to get our money that we agreed upon. But like smaller games, or older games I can see coming to, like Bloodborne. Why is that not on PC? Why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ratchet and Clank came to PC. That can
Yeah.
also go to Xbox as well. It's not going to hurt the platform PlayStation
Right.
at all. Just like Hi-Fi Rush won't hurt the Xbox platform, right? There's a lot to me that they can do, but definitely the ones that I can see coming over are especially their second and third party published deals. Like FromSoft did Bloodborne. I could see that coming. So what about you, Skill?
Personally, the one game that comes to mind is Gravity Rush. I could see Gravity Rush coming to Xbox. I think they are fine with letting that go. That they did that on that was around the Vita too, so it already feels like it can be moved around a little bit. I mean, it's a nice little Sony IP that has its own little fan base, and I think that'd be all right to go to Xbox. I don't see too many of the big guys going. We talk about it here all the time. I want I want a Sly Cooper to go to either Switch or Xbox. I want that to be around. I just love that series. I feel like that fits all schemes for gaming in general. So that's what I would like. But as far as what I think Gravity Rush would be fine to go. If even people even care about that shit. It's a cool concept, going up and down and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Nova?
It'll probably have to be something old, like you said, maybe one of those classic games from PS2, 3, 4 area. But if they're really taking notes like people claim they're doing, with Xbox, they're gonna have to release that nice package of the different ranges of types of games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So give you a solid game that that's like a Hi-Fi Rush and so on and so forth, all the way down to, no disrespect to Pentiment, but down to like what a Pentiment is for people. You know what I mean? Right. No disrespect to them. The art style looks great. It doesn't look like a game for me, but it's just kind of spread it out just like that. So you can get people that.
You know what boggled my mind when it released was Dreams. Dreams looked like a game that the PC crowd would have ate up.
Yeah.
With all them, but they never released it there. Like it didn't
That's
make
where
no
it
sense.
needed to be at. It's like,
do you need me? Do you need me to get on my soapbox for just a moment? They released Dreams, right? Then they released the PSVR2, and then they canceled Dreams. That's like Microsoft releasing Cortana and then canceling Cortana and then releasing Cortana's brain in the form of AI afterwards.
Right.
Why put the cart before the horse? Real stupid, right? And we're going to talk about PSVR2. That is the only thing that could have saved it. You could have just released that there. Right, it's their Roblox, if you will. There's a billion games in that thing, and it's all VR capable. Just release that there. Don't release any other games. Just let Dreams live in PSVR2. Instead, what do? You kill it.
Yeah,
don't get it.
Made no sense, man.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm done with the soapbox.
No, you good. What about you? What about you, Doc? What games do you potentially seeing coming over?
So I agree with Supernova. If Sony is taking notes like they say that they are, then I think they should look over at what Microsoft is doing with Call of Duty, right? And they're saying, hey, we're gonna keep it over there as well. And I know people are gonna say I'm port begging, but there's no reason why Helldivers shouldn't be on Xbox right now. And if Sony was to charge Xbox even more to have Helldivers on it, especially with the hype that it's getting right now, oh my God, they'd be sitting pretty right now. And they would have something. They would have maybe, I'm not going to call it a Call of Duty just yet, because we got to wait till this thing takes the test of time, right? That's one of the things I've been seeing. People are being real disrespectful already, calling this freaking Fortnite and everything.
Or
like,
Halo
don't do that just
like,
yet. Just wait. Fortnite and Roblox and Minecraft. You out of your mind. You gotta wait. These are staple games. Even Apex Legends, don't you dare, not yet, right? But I don't see why it's not. I don't see why it's not on Xbox. Like, it's weird. I could play it with this, and it has Xbox prompts. You know what I mean? On my PC. So why would I not be able to play it on my actual Xbox, which is already a PC? Like Asante said, every screen is an Xbox. I rest my case.
Yeah. So speaking of Helldivers, I do probably see it coming sometime next year. I think first they got to get used to like what the server issue is on the back end and fix that. And then they probably didn't expect it to have a great launch the way that it did.
Yeah.
So they're probably going to have to beef up and think of their roadmap going forward, because they probably thought they were probably going to get a quarter of the numbers that they received over the last couple of weeks. Probably less than that. I'm not sure. The way the servers be acting and only allowing 450,000 people in at a time, they probably didn't think it was going to be that successful.
So can I pour some salt on the wounds
don't
there?
Time out either. People don't time out. So like I told my son, just leave it running on your PlayStation. Fuck it. If everybody else is doing it, whatever.
So
if everybody else is doing it, right? Just leave it running.
Yeah.
To give you a very odd little thing that's about the Helldiver situation. You know, it's running PlayFab.
Yep.
And Azure Cloud.
Azure. Yep.
It's literally running Microsoft.
No idea what that means.
It's running Microsoft's backbone. It's running Azure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So them hitting that limit means they're being cheap, because I use Azure all the time.
Wait. So are you telling me that? Are you telling me that Sony is paying Microsoft for PlayStation games in that game?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm telling
Bro,
you. Yes, that's exactly what
different nowadays.
Yes. And they're choosing not to. They chose not to get the plan that scales with the people. Instead, they chose the plan that locks you after 400 and whatever people. Yes,
okay,
so it is quite interesting. They cheap is what they are.
Doc said, "I'm gonna have some content after this, baby."
They're cheap is what they are.
Oh man. Yeah. So okay, Asante, what we see what the future is looking like for the games. They're super bloated. They're not getting, their ROI is pretty horrible. And Totoki's looking at it, and I'm sure Santi is too, is slowly but surely that exclusivity stuff, aside from probably Nintendo, they will be dead last to do that.
Oh yeah.
Kicking and screaming probably. But where do you see, if PlayStation is to release games on all platforms, like what do you see coming?
I mean, as you guys have all expertly pointed out, the adults are in the room now. The money men are around. They don't care about your feelings or about your brand loyalty, all of that. It's about making the money. So I would not be surprised if Helldivers is first, because like the moment Helldivers became successful, I was like, yeah, it's over now. Like, you have a fiduciary duty to your shareholders to get as much money as you possibly can for that property. That's the reason why people are so angry with Microsoft and what they potentially are doing. And just the tip with 4 games, yeah, good luck with that. It is what it is.
Everything.
Right?
Yep.
I would not be surprised if 5 years from now, the conversation we're having is completely different, because these things are everywhere at this point. Yeah. Your same Samsung TV that has a Netflix app next to a Disney Plus app will have a PlayStation app next to an Xbox app, and they will all live there, or on hardware too, if you so choose. I don't see they are no longer suffering fools.
Yeah.
Yes, you can buy the hardware if you want. It's yours. You can do it. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, people they're gonna clutch the pearls when Halo goes, but oh boy, it's gonna go down. People gonna be surprised when they see, Xbox, PlayStation do the things. It would. It will. Search your soul, sir. It's gonna happen. Search your soul. Gears of War. Search your soul. Eventually, you'll see them elsewhere. You will. Yeah. Eventually. The analogy I've been using is we are horseshoe makers, and the Jetsons just entered upper atmosphere, and we're just looking around like what's going down. That's what's happening right now.
Supernova, you don't know what that
prepared.
Meant. Don't give him that.
He said we in the Stone Age.
Don't nobody know what the hell he just said.
He said we in the Stone Age.
Leave me by myself confused.
Yes. Yeah. We are the only ones. We are the only generation that cares about owning things. People younger than us, they don't care about owning things. They don't care about graphics. They don't care about any of that stuff. They just care about, is it fun? I'll play it. That's it. They're preparing for them, not us.
They don't care if something's online or offline either. If something's offline, they think the world ended. They're like, what's happening? Why is the Wi-Fi working?
Game preservation, who cares? They don't care. The only people that care about Mario and playing it on everything is me, right? My kids don't care about any of that, right? Is it playable on the tablet? They're playing on the tablet. So they're slowly but surely now getting us horseshoe makers out the way.
Damn.
So that the future comes where they get to not even bother telling you own it because you really don't. Right? They don't get to worry about game preservation. They turn the servers off, it's off. And the people who play it don't care.
You gotta play something.
So why do they want you and I around if those people are even easier to please than us?
Yeah.
Great point.
I don't know if they're easier to please though. I think once you get them in a hook, then you got them. So like those,
of course.
Like my kid is a Roblox fiend.
There you go.
Roblox fiend. Like that's
you got him. Yep.
He'll play it everywhere. It don't matter. He's playing it, right? But and he won't play anything else. Like he didn't get into Minecraft. He didn't get into anything else unless he's playing like with me and my older son. He'll play something else. But for the most part, he's playing Roblox. But that was a smart move by Sony too, because when Roblox went to PlayStation, then he was playing Roblox on the PlayStation with his cousins and stuff because of they all have PlayStations as well, right? And that's the only reason he started playing his PlayStation more was just because of that. And I'm like, see, Sony's benefiting from things going over on that side, whatever. But the real one is Roblox, right? Roblox is the one that's like Phil said. What he say? Some games are bigger than platforms.
Yeah,
boy, that boy Phil.
Fortnite followed suit too, because Fortnite's turning into a platform as well, just like Roblox.
It is.
So they're smart in that arena to do that, which is great, man. Hargeet Chani came up in. It said controller blowing feature, haptic feedback, most played game, Pornhub.
Oh man,
that's wild.
He ain't lying.
That's your most played game. That's horrible.
That's hilarious.
Thanks for the 5, Hargeet.
Blazing.
Vic the motherfucking click. He said, "What the f did Doc take to be so hyped? And what doctor I need to visit to get that prescription?"
No, Asante's just speaking facts. He pretty much said Sony sucks, Xbox is great, every screen is Xbox.
That's right. That's exactly what I said. I said just like that too.
Verbatim.
Verbatim. That's right. Word for word. That's it.
Man, thanks for the 5, Vic. And then Rocket Scientist comes back in with the 2. He said, Monster Hunter Stories, Gundam Breaker 4, skip Xbox. So listen, I understand the disappointment with that. However, sometimes we can, because I was initially like, what the fuck, man, at that, but we're very have short memories, right? Like there was no world where Visions of Mana was coming to Xbox. We've been getting a lot of Japanese games lately coming to Xbox, and I don't think that we should get so mad about some smaller ones skipping. I mean, we have made great progress as the Xbox community. All the Yakuzas, all these games by Atlas. The thing that I saw at Nintendo Direct, Unicorn, Overlord. Oh, I'm gonna eat that up. When that's coming to Xbox, 'cause I didn't even know. I was like, "Oh, I'm about to eat this on the Switch," and then I looked on the Xbox store and it was there, and I was like, "Oh, pre-order now," or whatever, right? So we've been getting a lot of good Japanese games lately. Sarabon visiting Sega, Phil working with Japan. Finally got Final Fantasy Online coming. Like, we're good. Like,
you know what's crazy too is that Gundam Evolution, the Overwatch style game, come over to Game Pass, wasn't supported. So it's like the fact that didn't do well, which I'm really upset at because I like Gundam things, and the fact that we got that and it wasn't like just
was that the chibi style?
No, it looked like Overwatch. You know,
did it? Okay,
like Overwatch as well. It's actually really cool. But see, in the fact nobody knows, so it's like the fact that they're not getting it is like, oh, y'all didn't want it. All right, y'all ain't getting it. So. I'm not even mad at that. And Monster Hunter is also a new thing to Xbox as well. And then knowing that, should be happy that we're missing out on stories and we got World. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're okay.
Stories was like a 3DS game, I believe, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, I thought it was a mobile type game whenever
Looks
I first
like
saw
it.
But it looked cool. It's all right. Let's see. Static Fox with the 5. Says, who will budge first? Power World to PlayStation or Helldivers to Xbox? Laughing out loud.
Definitely Power World to PlayStation.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know they're incubating Xbox because it's easy to make an Xbox game when it's on PC. You just hit a button. It's quite easy to develop for PC and Xbox at the same time. For PlayStation, you have to do it on purpose. They'll definitely go to Power World to PlayStation first, I think.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Cool. So let's get into the next topic, man. Nova, I think the PSVR2 PC support was yours. Set us up for it.
Yeah, I was surprised to see this online. It says we are currently testing the abilities to support PSVR2 players to access additional games on PC. So we've talked about this before, Longhouse, about like the high bar of entry when it comes to playing PlayStation, the PSVR 2, because you got to buy the console, you got to get the headset and connect to the console, then you finally get a chance to play the games. You know what I mean? So I want to ask you first, Skellington, what do you think that potentially this is signifying if PlayStation will just be like, all right, just connect it directly to the PC, because they said that they may hope to see this support available sometime this year.
From what I know, it's kind of weird. I'm thinking about this. To me, it sounds like it's just going to be software. I feel like it's just you can play the VR games on like PC and stuff like that. As far as that headset, bro, I think that shit dead. Like to ask to get that to be supported on PC is cool if that headset will run other things on PC.
There you
know
go.
I mean? All my other VR stuff, can I use it for anything else except PlayStation stuff? Then we got something looking good. Yeah, all right. It's like me picking up a new headset and I can play my PlayStation stuff too. Yeah, that's cool. But if that thing only plays PlayStation games, you're not selling me, bud.
Yeah, that's facts. I think that they're trying to like bring it over so they can get more people utilizing the device, because with PlayStation, man, we've seen it time and time again, man. They release something, don't support it. Release something, don't support it. And maybe they're trying to learn from their lesson, man. What do you think, Doc?
I think in the console space, they're the only ones that have this, right? So it would make sense to have that and to promote that way. But putting it on PC, now you got to compete against all the other ones, right? You got to compete against Quest. Google has one too, right? And then does the Apple one also work with PC or no? Does the Apple one doesn't work?
Not yet, not officially.
Right? Okay, so there's all different types of things that you got to compete with, and I agree with what Skell said. If it's only going to be for PlayStation games, you're probably going to be able to get your hardcore PlayStation gamers, like the fools that bought the PlayStation Portal. I mean, the people that bought the PlayStation Portal, right? And those people will probably go ahead and dish out money to buy another one of these things, right? But I have friends that have the PSVR headset. Shout out to Isomotion Gaming, also YouTube content creator, and he tells me his thing just collects dust. And now that he's got the Quest 3, is that the newest one that's out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got that. He's got a PC. He doesn't ever see a need to play the PlayStation one because there's just not enough there to actually play. So if they do what Skell says and they let it allow to open it up to let it play everything, then you got something. It's another competition, right? But I don't know. We'll see what Sony does.
That's a great point, man. Asante, what do you think, man? Do you think that if and when they do this, do you think that they're gonna fully let you play other games besides the PlayStation games only?
So this to me is the reason to buy a PSVR 2. I'm a big VR head. As you see, I have my Quest 3 here. I have a PSVR 1 here. I have a Valve Index over there as well. I love VR. I've always been a VR head in that way. I know it's a niche product and it still takes a lot to get going, but I've always thought it was the future eventually. Why I didn't buy a PSVR 2 is because all they have are ports of games that are better on PC already anyway.
Bingo.
And one or two exclusives, literally like one or two. And those two exclusives weren't enough to justify the hardware. Right?
Resident Evil 4?
But I will say,
is that one of them?
Resident Evil 4 is interesting because eventually, just like Resident Evil 7, I think it is, there was a PC version eventually that came out. So eventually they open the door to it. They like to play the money hat games, but eventually they bring it out to everywhere else. What is exciting to me about this news is PSVR 1 was cobbled into the PC use case. People were able to get it to work, right? Even the PSVR1, which, let's be honest, was terrible hardware. It was trash hardware. When it comes to VR specifically, you get what you pay for. The more you put into it, the better experience you get. So if your first experience is a really shitty one, you will never like it. You'll think that it's crap, even though it's the hardware that's causing it, right? This is super exciting to me because PSVR2 actually has really decent tech. From a technical perspective, it is decent tech. It has things in it that this guy does not. Foveated rendering, which basically focuses all of the processing power where you're looking, and eye tracking. So only where you look is where it's adding the resources. So it can give you so much overhead, looks so great, but that's because everywhere else you're not looking is not looking so great. But your eyeballs are watching where it's great, so it only focuses the good resources on that place. The what do you call it? The Apple Vision Pro does that. The Quest Pro did that. This does not do that, but the PSVR 2 does, right? So for me, I'm waiting with bated breath. Tell me I can play this Steam VR. You tell me that, I will take my money. I will give it to you today. I've been waiting to buy that thing. That's what I want. But the idea that it'll only play what do you call it, PSVR games on PC, that's not an attainable thing, because 85% of that library are on PC already, except for literally GT7 and The Climb, a la what do you call it? The Horizon.
Oh, Horizon! Oh, The Climb.
But that's a game. It's a game. Like, it's literally a VR game called The Climb. There's a game called The Climb, and literally that's Call of the Mountain. They took The Climb and they put a Call of the Mountain skin on it, and they went, there you go, where you're climbing, the whole thing.
Wait. Sony reskinning games? What?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
What? Sony reskinning games over and over and then calling it something different.
You will see my money fly out of my pocket when it's official and it's supported, and it's also supported by, like, I need it to be supported on Steam VR. Once you have that, you got me. I will 100% buy it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh man. So these gentlemen done had some great points, man. From, hey, we need open access to all games. Asante also pointed out that the headset itself is a better product, it seems, than the Quest 3 in some instances.
In some aspects, yeah.
In some aspects and some capabilities. So that's dope. So what do you think, Black Viking? What do you think that this is signifying for Sony?
For one, it's indicating that they looked at those numbers and the PSVR 2 sales have fucking plummeted.
Oh, get him! Get him!
Like, hey, we need
get him!
This is a Hi-Fi Rush situation. Like,
wait a minute!
Absolutely.
No, I was just trying to get you, Doc. I was just trying to get you.
Mute him! Play with my emotions like this.
No, so they looked at those numbers and I was like, all right, how do we, because the thing that hampered the PSVR 2, in my opinion, one, it's always tethered. Quest beats that shit out of the park. Plus it's cheaper, right? Two, Asante had the PSVR 1 and all the games that he purchased
do not
go over to PSVR 2.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. That's weak, bro.
Even something as simple
like
as Beat Saber, you got to re-up, which is crazy to me, right? So for Asante's point, though, he's excited for it. He's a huge VR head. He would like to just tether his. He already has the Quest, right? So he would like to tether his PSVR 2 to the PC. When I see both of them side by side, even if that's the case, for me, for more versatility, I'm always going to pick up the Quest 3 because I can have it untethered, right? Yep. I can sideload apps into it or whatever, and I'm Gucci. I can go anywhere with it.
And by the way, to your point, sir, Quest 3 uses, Wi-Fi 6E. As long as your house is cabled up right with good Wi-Fi, it's like being tethered to a PC anyway. You can play wirelessly your PC stuff. So the Quest does have leaps and bounds more versatility. So you definitely are right on that.
Yeah.
But the PSVR 2 gets a second life
Yeah, it
if
does.
they allow
Yes.
for PC.
For
It becomes actually useful for once if they put it on PC.
No, I 100% agree. They looked at it. Probably looked at those numbers, and they was like, and this is crazy to me. So instead of saying we have to give people a reason to get the PSVR2 with supporting it with more games or adding some third party stuff to it. Instead, they're just like, we just gonna put it on PC. Like they show no kind of incentive to all the people that bought their product to keep supporting it. And that's why that's why I don't fuck with PlayStation like that, man. I don't, man. Like they make some good games like that are exclusive, but when it comes to how they treat consumers or customers and their ecosystem, them always getting hacked, like I just dropping support for the Vita, dropping support for PSVR.
He said them always getting hacked.
Bro, they are always getting hacked, bro. It's crazy.
They are getting hacked.
That's why I just can't mess with them. But I do think it does give them another use case for the PSVR2, and they might be able to push out some more units, especially when people are looking for like the best of the best kind of headset to tether to their PC to play Alex or to play Flight Sim or whatever. That's what they'll use. Yeah. Okay, Asante, when you talked about the eye tracking stuff, is there any latency at all? Because like your eyes move very fast. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy. And actually, the best in that, believe it or not, is the Apple Vision Pro right now. It's just nuts. Like really good. I went and had a test of it. It's just bananas. Like it's so weird that your brain is not used to it. Wherever you look, it's I was throwing things all over the place because I happen to be looking all over the place, and as soon as it sees your hand do this, it's moving things. It's crazy.
Yeah. But how much does that one cost? Is that the really expensive one?
Do that.
$3,500.
Yeah, better do that.
But let's be fair, $3,500. If you compare it to other headsets in the market that do that, that's the cheapest thing you can ever find. Like, believe it or not, it is super cheap what Apple has released, because there have been other headsets that do that companies use to like model cars and things, and they're talking like 10 grand. They're talking 15 grand.
Yeah.
Yes. Ooh. So it is actually quite cheap what they've done for what you're getting.
Right.
Well, quick question. You said you're probably the only person who I know that actually has got a chance to try on that Apple Vision Pro, man. Is it pretty heavy of a headset? Because you said you got a lot.
It is heavy as hell. It is heavy as hell. Like they learned some lessons and then did not learn other lessons. Like the first thing I said to the Apple guy is, you guys did a great job. You'll sell a lot of these.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you're probably right. Like, because it's super expensive. It's not, you don't get what you pay for as far as the $3,000, right? The stuff it does better than anything I've ever seen. Like, if you're buying it for an isolated, if you're a movie buff, movie experience, there is nothing better than this headphone to use. But you're only going to get to use it for like 90 minutes to 2 hours max, because A, the battery's not that big, and B, the thing is very front loaded, very heavy.
Oh,
yeah.
This is much better. The Quest 3, to this day, that is what I would recommend to people to pick up. Easy, versatile, light.
I might have to make the switch from the 2 to the 3.
Hey, fellas, I got to start heading out, but I appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you so much. This was freaking awesome. Asante, man, wealth of knowledge. I told you guys earlier in the green room, man, your chemistry is crazy. Everyone that's in the chat, go ahead, hit the like, subscribe. This podcast is gonna blow up, man. And thank you so much for having me on. And I hope y'all do get that raid sponsorship.
Shadow Legends.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, you guys have a good one, fellas. Peace out.
Appreciate you.
Peace out, man. Oh, cool, man. Hey, I have Doc's URL to his YouTube plus to Twitter in the description below. Give that man a follow and a sub on his channel, man. Whenever y'all get a chance,
do that.
Yeah, for sure, man. Oh shit, is that Dirk Griggity in his screen? No, it's just stars.
See?
Wow.
Nah, we ain't gonna do dirt like that.
Just caught a stray.
Man, just living his life. You just launching strays, bro. Shout out to you, Dirt.
Dirt on me, bro.
Shout out to Dirt.
Oh, snaps, man. But yeah, I mean, to wrap that up for me, yeah, the Quest 3, man, and that's what I was talking about, man. Like all this kumbaya stuff that Microsoft does. Like you saw Zuckerberg. Did you watch that video when Zuckerberg came out and compared his device to the Apple headset?
But it was like, shit, though.
I was like, yo, like TTS, bro, like. Like that's some competitive stuff, man. That comes from the CEO, not some reviewer. Like he said, our product is better than theirs, more affordable. Like that was wild.
That was real hard body of him. I ain't going front.
It was.
I was
bro.
like, you know what? He actually said no.
Mark got that dog in him, and he went detail by detail, specifically why it was better, and I can respect that.
And hearing it from that felt like a Steve Jobs moment. I was like, you know, I'm trying to hear from the man. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I want to hear that.
And he's right, though. He's absolutely right. If you put it pound for pound, they're selling a reference design right now. But he needs to watch his back because the $1,300 device that will eventually come out, that will be a competitor. So y'all better be on your toes. But it looks like they're taking the lessons already. Since the Vision Pro came out, there have already been updates to this thing, fixing a bunch of stuff that have been a problem for a while. So they see that. Like I said, I told the Apple guy, they will sell a lot of Quest 3s because of the Vision Pro. The Quest 3 is going to get buttoned up real quick.
Yeah.
I agree.
Indeed. CBH for God asked if Game Pass is on the Apple headset. Have you?
It is not, but it is. It's a browser base, right? So you can basically just load a browser up and still use it as it is, right? Whereas, of course, on the Quest 3, there's a proper app now for Game Pass. Yeah.
Okay.
But the Quest 3 is also like an Android device, basically. So you can sideload any Android app, including the Game Pass store.
Yep.
And put that on.
I wasn't expecting to play any games or see any games on that Apple Vision Pro. I didn't expect any game-like features.
They do have one of the greatest games ever made on that thing, Fez. I don't know if y'all ever played it. Fez is on the Apple Vision Pro. So there you go.
That game was very well received. So there you
go. It's a great game. My kids play that even still. So there you go.
Yeah. What is Apple's issue with not getting into gaming? Like,
I don't know.
I don't think they have an issue. I don't know they have an issue. I think gaming has moved past them and they're trying to get it back within their confines. But even though their hardware is great, and let's not get it twisted, they have done some very interesting things. Yeah. It's like, the C is PC. That's what it is.
Right.
It is what it is, right? So no matter how much hardware you throw at us, if you're not developing in our way, you are not getting used. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. I give it back to you, Nova, for the VR stuff. If you're good or.
Yeah, there wasn't too much to go over for the PSVR2, man. I think it's a good idea that they actually decided to start to put it on the PC because, man, the bar of entry is just way too high at the time, and with them not supporting it as much, it gives and if they're going to open it up to every, them being able to play every game, this would be good for them, so they can just be like, all right, well, let's open this up that people can use the device without us having to really support it all that much.
I do have a thought. So that it being supported on PC, I'm wondering if this is giving like a client type thing, to be produced. Because so maybe that if it's supported by PC, it's only going to be supported through their client. You know what I mean? So therefore, you can just still play all the PlayStation games, but you can only use their thing. You still can't use it for everything else, which people will hack their way around that. But I just feel like we've been talking about.
Please let them give us a client. That's enough. That's all we need, baby. Give me a client. I'll make the rest work myself.
I'm already knowing. So I'm just curious. Like, is this the way to get the client to get started up? That's the way I see it being. Like that's pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah, they do need a client on PC.
Client would be great. Bro, get a client and put all the fucking games on there. I've been wanting that. Like, please just put all the old PlayStation stuff. I just I will go back and play Thievius Raccoonus like it's nothing. Easy. I don't know, but
for sure, man. All right. Yeah. Did you think that like this was probably a decision? Because this kind of seems like all of a sudden. Do you think this was a decision made by the new guy in charge?
Oh yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it was, because they're trying to cut costs, and a lot of companies are trying to be a little bit more lean today anyway. So any way that you can get your product in front of more people and get more, get the money coming in. Yeah, it's a good thing, all while trying to minimize costs, from you. Yeah, it's right up that alley.
It's seeming like this is their his true modus operandi too. Like, it feels like this is what he is doing. He said, "I'm getting our shit out there. This is what we're doing." And, hey, you can't blame the man. He said, "Y'all want money, huh? We gonna get some money."
For sure.
Sounds like a cool guy to me.
Console sales declining or stagnating, and even whenever I saw the leaked document for how many people are subscribed to just regular PS Plus versus their standard one, it was a crazy disproportionate number. How many people are just on the regular online one versus the one that you get all the perks. Plus, they raised the price on it, which is nuts to me, because they're not offering very much more.
I had to re-up on my deal when Foam Stars came out. I was like, look at this shit. I never bought it.
I might have to drop mine down. I got like the top package, bro. And it's just collecting dust. I'm not going to lie, because a lot of the times in the PlayStation Plus, those games are not really games that's really like, making me want to go out and play for real, to be honest.
That's what I was saying. If you use it every 3 years, you can have a great time with that. It's like, bro, who is going to wait 3 years a piece on this? It's like, no, man. Yeah. I still remember when they gave out. I still remember when I was straight Xbox. I think it was PS4 maybe, and they dropped Shadow of Colossus on their shit.
Oh yeah.
I was like, they got heat over there, boy. They giving it out for free. That's heat. Like that's not free, it's a subscription, but it's still that it was good back then, I think.
Yep. Let me get this $2 from MJ Dark again. He said K Asante wants a CPAP machine to play Alloy in VR. Is it exhausting?
They call Horizon Liquid what they call gaming NyQuil, because it's boring. That's what he calls it, gaming NyQuil. So there you go.
Yo,
oh my god, man!
I actually like the Forbidden West. I actually like the Horizon series, though.
Me too. Me too.
VR one, but I think the actual game.
Yeah, the actual game was pretty decent. It is like I will continue to claim it like earns the reward for representing Black people better than any other game ever. Like ever.
Yes,
yeah. So it deserves a respect just for that.
Yep. The hair looks right.
The hair, it is, yes, perfect. So there you go.
It really is. And the machine parts and the dinosaurs too is
it's great. It's great. I don't know why all the hate. People, what is it? Horizon Forbidden Sleep. This is what I hear all the time.
They got jokes.
Oh man. So yeah, let's go to the next topic, man. This is Scales topic. He wants to talk about some Nintendo Direct, man. Set us up.
Let's talk about it. The Nintendo Direct was yesterday. I'm pretty sure all you guys saw it was out and everything. It's been out for a day. You guys slept on it. A lot of news. If you take it as far as what was going where. I'm going to keep it simple on like a first question. I'm just going to pass around the room. I'll start with you, K Asante. Can you give me anything at all that just stood out for you?
More often than not, Nintendo Directs don't stand out to me. They usually don't. I'll be honest with you. I call it the abacus. I always have. It was obsolete the year it came out. I have an NVIDIA Shield that is far more powerful, and it has exactly the same chipset. And it's 10 years old at this point. I see you, Dark. Every time I do this, he comes for me. I call it the abacus. we're hoping that eventually the Switch 2 gets more powerful. It'll be the 8-track player. Good luck. They always debilitate their hardware and let's be real. They have great developers. They can make it shine. It's all good. But yeah, it seems to me like this whole thing was just so they can announce Grounded. That's what it was. The whole thing was just they could be like, look, we got Grounded, which for the record, Grounded is a great game. More people should play it. I think it's great on Switch. It'll do well there. I'm surprised it took them this long to do that. They should have been doing that a long time ago. Just put it on Switch. It's fine. So usually my thoughts when I watch a Nintendo Direct is, what is coming to Game Pass? Because 9 times out of 10, most of those things come to Game Pass.
Yeah.
This time it was kind of boring. It wasn't too much for me per se, but not everything's for me. Usually I watch that stuff and my kids are like, I think my son and I were playing Mario versus Donkey Kong at the time. So, it is what it is. They get my money, but it didn't call me too much this time.
Sounds good. I hear that. It was kind of mid. I'm not gonna lie. It was really more about the news. Nova, same question. Did anything stand out for you?
Man, I'm glad that y'all both said that because I thought it was kind of mid too, and I'm like, yo, is it just me? Like for a second, I was like, dang, like, is it just me? Right. But yeah, not the whole thing. There were a couple of games that kind of stood out to me. Specifically like Contra, because I just like classic Contra games, you know what I mean? But we've played Contra a billion times and they just kind of freshened it up a little bit. I'm interested about the Sword Art Online game. Looked pretty cool with the 20 player multiplayer thing. That looked pretty dope. I haven't gotten a chance to play Shin Megami Tensei 5 by Atlas, so that'd be pretty cool to pick up. But I definitely thought of Black Viking when I saw that Unicorn Overlord game, so it's pretty cool to hear that he went and checked it out. I kind of figured he would.
That is crazy. I did think, I was like, man, yeah, he would play that. Not only that.
Yeah. For the first second, I was like, oh, this is Black Viking right here. Right? So, but yeah, they had a couple in there, but nothing that's really like, oh man, I really should rush out and play these. Like, it's something that if I don't have nothing else to play for months and months on end, I'll go and pick some of these things up, man. Because the Killer Instincts and the Battletoad that they have in that in their little emulators that they have on there, I've played those a billion times.
We played those on Super Nintendo, bro.
Yeah.
Just now.
I will say though, the world of Goo is an interesting inclusion because most people don't remember that is OG game. Like, mobile when it first started had World of Goo. Like, most people don't remember that it is part of, I think, the first crop of iOS games that ever came out, and they're still kicking it. It's cool. But again, it's not something you run out and go buy a console for.
No, and that's the thing, man. And they really need to pick it up. They have been kind of hanging out back there, when it comes to powerful consoles for way too long now, man. And I do enjoy their first party games because mechanically they're fun, man. They're not going to look as great as an Xbox or a PlayStation game, but you're going to get a good time out of the gameplay, Right. But bro, they gotta. The next Nintendo Direct got to come with something, man. We got to see something. But this one didn't stand out.
I think the next one will be a lot better because that's an actual Nintendo. This was the paid or partnership. So
partner showcase.
Like I did it with a grain of salt, but yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. And lastly, that Super Monkey Ball game multiplayer finally. You know what I mean? That looks cool too, So they got some cool looking games.
It looks cool, yeah. Appreciate that. Same question, Black Viking. Did anything stand out for you?
Well, yeah, of course. Y'all already called it. I think I messaged you guys in the chat. It was like, bro, Unicorn Overlord all day, right? I saw it on Xbox for, was it $69.99, right? And I was like, I already pre-ordered it, but I don't know if I'm a canceler or not. It just depends. For that price, for the level of detail for this game, right? Like, it looks good, but I just wonder how beefy it's going to be.
That's a steep ass price. I'm not lying, bro. I didn't know that either. I thought that was definitely going to be your good $49.
It's a full price AAA type thing or whatever. So, but it's my type of game that I know I'm gonna pump hours into if it provides me with those hours. Another
and it's made by Sega.
Yes,
true. That's what
true.
got me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's bound to be fun. Like at least that, you know what I mean?
But yeah, it's my type of game, bro. The turn based, I love those type of games. Because they don't make very many of them, right? Like the turn based stuff is going out of style for a lot of people. Like, but that's my jam. So, and then Asante brought another point talking about they had this direct to show Grounded. I'm almost positive that's the case. Like was a Nintendo partnership direct. I'm almost positive that's the case to show the partnership between Xbox and Nintendo, because the rumors were that they postponed the direct because of the business update, right? So the business update happened close to around the same time the Nintendo Direct was supposed to happen, and they didn't tell us what the 4 games were because they wanted those to be announced by the partners, and then the Nintendo Direct comes out, and then boom.
The timing is impeccable.
Yeah.
Imagine if they would have told us to wait for 2-3 more weeks.
Listen, I think I don't know why they didn't do that before, because they were going to wait to do the business direct like in March or something like that, March or April. If Nintendo would have came out and did that, even though those rumors were swirling and they didn't officially hear anything from Xbox, I think Twitter would have been crazier than what it was the last couple of weeks.
Oh, yes. I agree.
To have Nintendo announce those games versus Xbox coming out talking about pushing out some games from other platforms. Yeah. So
that would have looked crazy.
It really would have. Yeah. But yeah, but Unicorn. The only thing that I liked in that whole thing was Unicorn Overlord. That's it. And then the Epic Mickey thing looked cool, but I was like, I'm not buying that.
That's a remaster too, I believe.
Yeah. So I'm not buying that. So Unicorn Overlord, it is for me.
Not bad. I agree with all you guys are saying. It was a pretty mid show. Wasn't much shown. Grounded and Pentiment were, not for some reason, but they were the stars of the show, solely due on the partnership between Xbox and Nintendo. So I will pretty much agree. Some of my favorite things, I know it's weird. The one that I had that kind of caught my attention was the Dark Souls like crab game where you you get change your shell out and stuff like that. I was like, dang. I was like, that's my Steve. I'm into just a lot of games, so I wouldn't have
another Crab's Treasure.
I think something like that. Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, that fits Nintendo. I was like, and not only that, Nintendo don't have any Souls like, so there's nothing like that to feel that on their console really. But I thought that was pretty cool. He was getting his shell knocked off. I'm sure the shells give different powers. And it's a Dark Souls, so it's gonna be difficult. I thought that was my like standout of the show, aside from the news of Grounded and Pentiment. Another question I have, how should I phrase this? How do you guys feel about what Xbox did as far as the partnership? Do you guys feel like these were the games that could have gone? Good news, bad news? Did it shake up the world? Was it exactly what you wanted to hear from them after making you wait that time? Asante, how did you feel about that news?
So okay, let me hedge my bet before people start throwing the virtual tomatoes at me and say first and foremost, I think you feel about this situation depending on how you come to gaming. I game everywhere. And when I say I game everywhere, I mean I game everywhere. I'm a little bit of a power user, so I will buy a game off the Abacus, strip it, put it on the old A1 Pro and play at 4K 160 because I can do that. Like, you don't limit me. I do what I do, and within legal limits. Now,
okay,
but still, I could do that. So when this stuff happened, and we knew, I've been saying it over and over again. This is a sea change, right? It's going down. Search your soul, because you console warriors have lost the thread. They no longer are okay with the back and forth. They're done. They are. Like, they're done with that back and forth. They want to turn their competitors into partners. That's what Microsoft does, right? They have Dell. They have it. I work with them all the time. And basically that's what they do. They turn their competitors seemingly into partners by, I throw you a bone, you throw me a bone, and now we're working together for the greater good. This is what I saw with that partner direct. The bit of smoke that I have for them when it comes to that is, oh, it's just 4. Stop it. Stop misleading your hardcore community that will come and bring the pitchforks to you next week or the week after or in 2 months or in 5 months. Stop with the, oh, it's just last year's model and it's just 4 of them. They're all going. They just are. Come on. Right? Now the crazy consternation in the streets was useful because I have no prior knowledge, but I will contend that let them know how crazy y'all would get if it goes down. So they pumped the brakes a little and slowed it down. But everything you heard has to be true. Come on. Everything. And you know why I believe that? Think about it this way. This company is now officially the most valuable company in the world. You do not become the most valuable company in the world by leaving money on the table. Okay? Let's think about it just for a brief moment. What projects were in the middle of being made when they purchased all these studios? Think about it.
Yep.
Grounded, they have PlayStation code. Avowed, they have PlayStation code. Starfield, they have PlayStation code. All of them do. They were all in the middle of AAA development, multi-plat development when they were purchased and became first party. So what happens after 4 years of effort and money tossed in? Does this $1 trillion company that's known for making money go, all that effort you did, yeah, throw that in the bushes. You're now Xbox only. No, of course not. They literally have code sitting there that they could put on a platform and make money. Why would they not? You know, your definition of success as a console main who wants to see them dethrone PlayStation, that's your definition of success. They could give 2 shits about that. They want money. And they see this thing that's just sitting there that no sunk cost is just sitting there. And I'm going to slow down because it'll hurt your feelings. Get out of here with that. That's some bullshit. Like, it just is. So if I have smoke for them, hold them by the hand. Horseshoe maker, come here. Let me tell you about this thing called the tire. It's amazing, right? This is the conversation we need to be having with the community. Not, oh, it's only 4, just the tip. Yeah, okay. Get out of here with that. That's the only bit of smoke I have for them. As far as what it will do for the community, I feel like they didn't say too much. They didn't change too much. Same things are still being said. It didn't move the needle for me at all, right? Because they said where Game Pass exists, and these games are not where Game Pass exists. Right. So that tells me you are not to be trusted when you say when Game Pass exists, because it existed then, it doesn't exist now, and the rules have changed, right? Mm-hmm. For me, it doesn't bother me none. You know, I game where I game. I have an extensive. I think on Xbox I have about 500 games. On Steam I have 500. I have a bunch of games everywhere. You know, and I use different services to aggregate that. I'm hoping that eventually Microsoft gets their head out of their butt and does that on the PC side so that I have one place for all of it.
Yes.
Yeah,
but I mean, me personally, I've learned lessons during this whole debate of where games should go and not go. Some people feel very deeply about this stuff. Mm-hmm. And because I've come to that realization, I am now on that tip of, I would take my brother's hand, sit him down, put my arm around him and go, yeah, man, just search your feelings. It's time. That's where I am with it.
So Asante, I'm a play a little bit of devil's advocate here for a
Please.
second. When you said that, you know, Microsoft likes to do like the partnership thing,
Mm-hmm.
I throw you a bone, you throw me a bone. However, it's looking quite one-sided at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You start seeing bones being thrown from Nintendo or PlayStation going to Xbox.
So on the reciprocal bone throwing,
right?
So when and this happened, we actually have history about this, right? Sega was talking about the Super Game Initiative and how Microsoft technologies are helping them. And the first thing I said was, that's quid pro quo, right? You've seen the quid. That's from Sega's side. What is Microsoft getting it? You won't hear it this week. You won't hear it next week, but they're getting something. And then what did you see? Everything is in Game Pass now. Yeah. Everything that Atlas makes is in Game Pass now. Everything Sega makes, they are now open door policy with Game Pass, right?
Right.
I honestly think that because Microsoft is leading from behind, as they always do, right? They have to. They're the ones the first. They draw first blood. They're the ones the first take the first arrows, right? Sony messes up. Sony doesn't exist anymore. They make one wrong move, it's a wrap. So none of them can afford to move in that way, right? And then it's basically they're all standing in front of each other with the guns, right? And who's gonna drop them first, right?
Yeah.
Right. And Microsoft has more money than God, more money than anything that they can afford to lose, and they'll be all right. So it's in their best interest to turn their adversaries into partners. So they first drop their guns, and now they're courting their rivals. Soon enough, you'll see some reciprocal stuff. I'm telling you, man, I would not be surprised if I see Helldivers eventually. I would not. I'll see gas games first before you see other games.
Like we know Marathon's coming and
exactly. We already knew Marathon was coming. Like where I see, especially with Totoki in the house, like the adult seemingly look where his priority is money. I would not be surprised if you see a bunch of PlayStation games go day to day into Game Pass PC because it's easy. Right. It's right there, right? You don't have to create it for Xbox. You have PC games that are released on Steam. Take the Microsoft bag that they would gladly give you. I see that, right? So in the short term, yeah, everybody's going to be like, oh, Nintendo's not giving you anything. You don't know. Nintendo in the background maybe is doing something for you. You don't know, right? Microsoft, Sony's not giving you anything. Sure, in the short term. But these guys, it's in their best interest to turn these guys into partners. So they have to bleed first. So you're going to see that happen for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good. That's amazing. I pretty much agree with everything you're saying, honestly. The only thing I have to probably say about that is I don't see Nintendo throwing no bones. They only catching bones. They said, hey, you can come over. We ain't doing shit for you. But yeah, come on.
I mean, what I mean by what Nintendo's not doing for you, you saw 007 release.
Yeah.
There are certain things, right? You see certain games come places, and I bet you if Nintendo didn't like it, 007 would not release.
Right. Oh, I agree.
Yeah, right. So certain moves they're talking to in the back end, maybe it's just the virtue of, okay, you get that game too, but Nintendo's giving them something for it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I got you. Yeah. I understand. Running out of time. Nova, same question. How did you feel about the partnership at the Nintendo Direct?
More of the same of what Asante said, because honestly, it seems like kind of Xbox is operating off of like a percentage of something is more than 100% of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So with those 4 games coming, we all know that that's just the beginning, man. Like if this comes out and it works and it shows proof that they can make a decent amount of money off of this, it's going to happen more. Like it only makes sense. And
especially
they didn't
off of older games.
Oh yeah, that's sitting around because, like, for me personally, out of those 4 games, I only really planned on and did play one. I only played and beat Hi-Fi Rush. The other games weren't really necessarily for me, you know. So yeah, it's crazy that it's starting to turn tide, but that's just what the future is going to be, you know. Like I know that we are. Well, not we, because I also play on multiple different platforms besides just Xbox too. Yeah. But people are tied to these things, man. And I think it's a lot of Xbox players just catching a lot of flack because Xbox has led from the past, led from behind, and it's what it's been doing. Yeah. So Xbox fans just been catching a lot of flack, and they wanted to talk some shit, man. And it's just now the tides is turning to those.
But you know that Sony is following suit, right? I always say it on my show. Don't listen to what Sony says. Look at what Microsoft did 2 years ago, because that's what Sony's doing right now. Like literally, look what they're doing, right? They did this 2 years ago as well. We're putting everything day and date on PC. And then you go, they'll never release it on Xbox. Yeah, that was 2 years ago. 2 years from now, let's talk about it. Right. I bet you see some games on Xbox. I bet you do.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
I could definitely business. See Helldivers, man. Helldivers on Xbox just seems like a move. So I definitely see
that. Yeah. If you look at the statistics, even though there's a bigger pool on PlayStation, gas games have a bigger install base on Xbox. MLB The Show has more players on Xbox than it does on their own console.
6-1.
That's how you know they've been waiting on it. I was low-key waiting on it too because I just want to hit a home
Destiny
run.
2 has more of an install base on Xbox than it does on PlayStation.
Yep.
Right? So if they see that and you got the money men in the room, why the hell wouldn't they go where the money is at?
Yep. It was like, well, but because it's mine. They like, nah, that's not gonna work.
That ain't
gonna work.
That devalues my plastic box. Well, hey man, there's another box. Go get another one.
Yeah.
Cool. I appreciate that, Nova. And I'll throw to you lastly, Viking.
Yeah. So I talked to y'all about this before. When the ABK case was coming down, right? And they asked Nintendo how do they feel about it. The mobster said, "We good. We don't see no problem." Listen, in my opinion, Nintendo can get whatever they want. I don't care. Right? The console warrior in me, right? I didn't want to see none of that shit going to PlayStation. But it is what it is, right? But for seeing how the sea change, as K. Asante had put it, to me, the move makes sense. The only head scratcher, again, I'll say, is Hi-Fi Rush. Especially if there's no sequel that's coming out within the next year that would be timed exclusive or exclusive to your platform within the next year. To me, it feels like Hi-Fi Rush could have been a great marketing opportunity, have more people looking at it, playing it before the sequel comes out, and then they see that it's on PC and Xbox, and then people could, if they loved it that much, they could go over there. Also, we talked about it yesterday, but this shit boggles my mind, right? When you boot up MLB on Xbox, what do you see, K. Asante?
You see the PlayStation logos. Yes, I know where you're going. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Right? That is crazy.
Yes, sir.
You see
that is crazy.
When you boot up Sea of Thieves or Pentiment or Hi-Fi Rush, you will not see an Xbox logo. You will not see an Xbox branded anywhere.
I used to miss seeing like just logos, like you're playing.
Actually, I think the Sea of the Hi-Fi Rush one. It's it's published by Microsoft Corporation, not even Xbox, not even Xbox Game Studios, Microsoft Corporation.
So they're not even doing themselves any fan service by putting their brand on the game somebody else purchased, so they can know. Because I talked about it yesterday. My theory is a lot of people, they think Xbox has no games, right? They've been told this. They go into GameStop, they go into Walmart, ask them what platform to buy. They tell them PlayStation, it has great games. Xbox doesn't have any, whatever, right? And this is the opportunity for Xbox to put those games, which are good, onto PlayStation and on the Switch, so that people can know, like, hey, they lied to you. We got great games. And they're not even putting their brand on it.
Yeah.
But see, that would assume that your definition of success is their definition, which is to win the console war, to become better than the other guy. They don't care about the console war anymore. Have it. It's a small pool.
I also think this Hi-Fi Rush they want that to transcend gaming. I think they want it to be an anime, a show.
Yeah, they want Netflix shows.
In order to do that, if they give it to Sony and Nintendo at some point, Hi-Fi Rush becomes bigger than gaming. No, it don't look like Xbox like exclusive. Like first, it started on Xbox. It won't look like that anymore,
right?
Unless the sequel comes out and it starts on Xbox again, then we'll know. But I think for now, I think that series, and I agree that it's just transcending video games. I wanted to watch a show of it. I want to see more. Hi-Fi Rush is a nice unicorn. I agree. Xbox should have locked that shit the fuck down. I'm not gonna lie. But if they want to transcend gaming, then yes. I feel like that they're doing what they need to do.
Yeah, but I think it's so hard to put. It's you have a not within us, like gamers know, but within the casual fan base, you read this Kotakus, you read the IGNs. Xbox has a certain stench about it, right? It's a branding thing, right? So when people look at, oh, this was developed by Xbox, I'm not buying that. Or this was Microsoft Studios, I'm not buying that, right? Like this was to me a great case because they said this is a test, this is a study, right? To see how that translates to not just people buying their box, right? Because you could buy it on PC, but for people to try out more games to go, like this is on Game Pass, like, oh, Game Pass must be really good. Let me go ahead and subscribe to Game Pass or whatever.
Right.
Like to me, it was a good marketing opportunity, not just for the box, but for the brand itself.
I agree.
Because when you see the PlayStation logo, that's synonymous with quality and blah, 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 right? Like, and they stick their brand on everything, every chance they get. They'll put their brand on it, right? And I think they had an opportunity to do this as well.
I agree. They had a chance to sell whole systems based off controllers, hi-fi rush control, all kinds of shit. They did kind of miss. But if that's not their goal, and if their goal is bread, there it is.
And they're already getting bread. They're doing well. So.
Yeah. Shout out to Hi-Fi Rush, man. Let's just say
the game was phenomenal, bro. I love that game. Was great, bro.
It was really good, and it was a shadow drop, bro. Crazy.
Yeah.
Where's my hip hop DLC? I mean, come on. I'm sorry.
I know.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Come on, Chai.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I miss him, man. I miss him, man. It's good.
Yeah, but I'm good. I'm good on that. That's how I felt about it. Like I didn't really care what Nintendo got, to be honest.
Yeah.
Good.
Appreciate y'all for answering that, man. I pretty much feel the same way as y'all do. And I didn't have really a feel. I'm the gamer's gamer. I'm playing the games wherever they're at. So this doesn't affect me at all personally. But for the fanboy, I understand for sure. The console war boy in me, hoorah! I understand.
I think, and that's why I want them to fix the PC stuff, right? Or an Xbox OS to where third-party games can be played on that you purchase through Xbox on PC, because I think a lot of people have so much money tied into that one ecosystem. This is where the fear comes from, right? Like if you are doing this and people aren't buying your console, you're not getting third-party sales, people are not going to start developing for your little niche box anymore, and they will pretty much get out of the console space. I get that argument, right? Which is why I want them to I don't want them to devalue their box, right? To where the console goes away and then none of my games go over to my other systems that you put out, or you just stop making boxes completely and I have this old Xbox
sounding
Series
like
X.
Sega,
right? So I get people's concerns with that. So I know this isn't the last 4 games, right? I don't think anybody believes this is only 4. I haven't seen anybody argue
the first 4 games. Man.
It's the first 4
games
for sure.
That's right.
But yeah, I think they need once everybody starts moving everything everywhere, then I think we're safe. But when it's just Xbox doing it, and people will start to be a little bit concerned about that. Tokyo Trace says Game Pass will handle it. Yeah, I mean, yes and no, because I don't think we won't get Elden Ring on Game Pass. We won't get, your third-party games, Dragon Dogma 2, your GTA. You won't get that until it's years old. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's my 2 cents. But we can go ahead. Scale, did you want to break yours down?
Not pretty much. I'm the gamer's gamer, and this doesn't affect me that much. So give me the games, and I will try to always have a PC to make sure I can play everything, because everything's going everywhere. So, and not only that, it wasn't Gears, Indiana, or Starfield, so that just calmed everything down. They can do that later, maybe, but until then, we good, y'all. Good. Hey.
Yeah. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up, man. Asante, first of all, thank you for answering the call, coming on. This is a really good conversation. Anytime I want to talk some hardware stuff with you, man.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna have you on.
You know where to find me, bro. No worries, no worries. I appreciate the invite. I know it's sometimes difficult getting schedules done these days. My time is really, really not mine, but I appreciate being on with y'all, brothers. It's fun, man. Boom put me on to you guys, and I've been watching ever since. You guys do put on a good show, man. You have a fan in me. I'm definitely subscribing to the stuff. It's good. It's real good.
Yeah. Shout out to Boom.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The hardest working man. He's out there.
Shout out to
5
Boom.
days a week.
Work.
Yes, sir.
But go ahead and sell your brand, man. And then
Sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and try to find I'm gonna put your link in the description.
Yeah, no worries. Well, thank you guys for having me once again. Myself and my podcast partner, Everborn Saga, we put on the Gaming Circle podcast on Saturdays, GCP for short. We try to be introspective. We try to teach things. We try to learn things. We try to, speak on evergreen topics, things like that. So obviously this will be a conversation we're having this week as well. And we're getting to play interesting games because of the community. They've been throwing codes at us, so we get interesting, cool little things that we get to talk about as well. So it's real cool if people want to come check us out. Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We call ourselves PG-13. We're like G.I. Joe. We use lasers, not bullets. So we try to keep it PG, on a Saturday morning. But yeah, come out and have fun with us. We always appreciate people. We're looking forward to having some of the Longhouse Podcast on, some, if not all, of the Longhouse Podcast on at some point in time.
Yeah, man.
We'll work the schedules and get that done. It's always fun, communicating with great members of the community. It's great. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Well, thanks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really appreciate that. I put the links in the chat, man. Y'all hit that sub button for that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Do that.
If y'all haven't liked or subbed to this channel, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Like, hit that sub button if you're here for the first time, man. Or if you've just been a lurker, hit the sub button. It helps out a lot. Nova, tell these people where they can find you, man.
I go by Supernova. You can find me on X/Twitter at super_Nova Gamer. You can find me here on the Longhouse Podcast every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which we get. All of the Longhouse Podcast gets a tremendous opportunity to raise money for a good cause. If you look at Viking's chest, he has a nice fire hoodie on.
Show it off. You know
what I'm saying? And some of you individuals have already hit the shop and purchased, and I just wanted to let you guys know that every red cent goes to a good cause. And as we casually approach to the weekend, man, y'all have a good time, man. Hug your loved ones, stay safe out there, and be kind to somebody. And that's it.
Yes, sir.
What about you, Scale? Tell these people where they can find you. You be on the streets, you be streaming, you be gaming. You know what I mean? Tell them where they can find you.
I be gaming. You can catch me on all the socials, man. I go by BLAQQ SKELLINGTON with 2 Qs. I stream on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday around 1 p.m. Central. You can catch me on here, Longhouse Gaming Podcast, every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Check me out, man. Look, subscribe to my channel. I'm new, starting up. Let's all grow together, man. If you're watching my channel now, thank you very much. I appreciate every view. I'm here chopping it up with y'all as much as I can. I love to talk and chop it up during the game. Y'all can watch me get trashed out or do well. Who knows? So you can catch me on those. Thank you, everyone who donates and supporting us. It all goes to a good cause, a good charity. We want to provide good games to the kids. Good games. We're not trying to throw up the little Neo Geos anymore. We're trying to give them some good stuff.
Hey, don't disrespect. I had the pocket, bro.
I said anymore. It was good time. But nah, man. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate everything. We appreciate everything.
All right, man. I'm Black Viking. Y'all can catch me at the Black Viking 3 on X/Twitter, where you can catch me, diving deep into the mud. You know what I mean? Y'all know I got the jokes. And yeah, man, thank you guys for checking us out, liking, subscribing. I really appreciate all that. Every super chat that we got today, on Tuesday, in the past, and membership. Oh, I love it all, man. I really appreciate that. I think the money's going to go a long way. Like I promise you guys. Yo, and we just 3 months, 1,500 subscribers, man. I'm speechless, bro.
Great.
I am
Thank
actually
you so much.
speechless at this, man. But yeah, man, thanks for kicking it with us. I wish I could do some outro music, but it's all right, man. We're just gonna hit you with the regular outro. Throw up the set. Peace. We'll see y'all next Tuesday.